What's he seen, people? This is Matthew, and this is another episode of What's he seen. Before I start this review here, first of all, my apologies for the lack of reviews over the past couple of months. A lot of things came up in my life, but most of these things have been rectified to say the least. So now we're back on track. So in today's episode, this vlog episode, if you will, I'm going to be talking about the latest video game to movie adaptation. Of course, I'm talking about the third film from director Duncan Jones. This movie is Warcraft. So in this movie here, we have two races. We have humans and we have orcs. So in the orc race, the orcs have to leave their realm because their world is dying. So now, through the mystical arts performed by their wizard, they've run into a realm, or at least they discover a realm called Azeroth, which is basically a kingdom run by humans. So now these orcs go through the portal, and the wizard decides, well, okay, we have to decimate this kingdom. We have to destroy all these humans, or at least in this case, he sucks out the life force from these humans, and he uses them as power in order to bring the rest of his army through this portal. And the humans now, they have noticed this portal. They are aware of the orcs' presence, and now they realize, well, okay, we have to do something, or else our kingdom is destroyed. And through some circumstances, which I'm not going to reveal here, the orcs and the humans are at war. So now the question is, will they actually get along? Will they set their differences aside and actually realize what the true evil is, and what do we do to stop this evil? First off, let me get the positives out of the way. This movie is visually breathtaking. There are tons and tons and tons of great visuals in this movie. And I also love the character designs of the orcs. I thought they were well designed. The motion capture that they used for the actors who's playing these orcs looked very, very, very lifelike. It was very great. And also too, I love the fight and combat sequences, more particularly with the orcs as well too. I love the main character in terms of the orc story. There's a chieftain, actually, I forgot to mention. He is basically against what the wizard is doing. He understands that yes, they have to move to a new home, but at the same time he doesn't like the fact that the life in that world, in this new world, is being sucked out by this wizard, and he wants out. He wants the best for his wife and his newborn child, and he'll do what it takes to save them and his people. And in terms of that character motivation, simple as it is, it was really, really effective. I understood where this guy was coming from, and I was rooting for him as well too. And therein lies the problem with this movie. Well, one of the main problems of this movie: character motivations. And in this case with this film, it's like, okay, orcs are coming through, they have the power to destroy humans, but what's at stake? What is a huge risk here? Yes, they have to go and fight them, but so what? If the characters don't have any proper motivations, if the characters aren't properly fleshed out, then why should we care? And I really felt that with the humans, I just didn't care for any one of them. I mean, the actors were fine, to say the least, but other than that, I just didn't care about any one of the characters. And also too, maybe it's just me, but I just felt that their dialogue was clunky, and most times I just couldn't understand what they were saying. That's not to say that anything was seriously wrong with the sound mix or whatever, but I don't know, it's just the way how these lines were delivered. It's just like, what? Huh? I don't understand what you're saying. I just don't understand. With the orcs, on the other hand, you kind of do understand what they're saying at most times, but because of the simple motivation, as simple as it is, I was more interested in the orc story than the humans, And yes, they do clash, and you have some decent fight and all that, but because of the lack of proper character motivation and proper character development, you just looking at these images is just like, wow, this is so flashy, and ooh, wow, ooh, but at the same time you just don't really care. So I mean, I will say this, like, I have never played a Warcraft game before, and not like I never wanted to, it's just I never got around to it. But even if I haven't played any of the Warcraft games, I know there are going to be tons of people that are going to see this movie that haven't played any Warcraft games. If you don't give us a well-told story, if you don't give us proper character development, if you don't give us character motivations, then all we're just going to see is just flashy images and nothing more. I was very disappointed with this movie. I really wanted to like it. I mean, my expectations were low from the word go, but I really wanted this film to at least raise the bar in terms of the quality of video game movies, But with this one, I'm sorry, they tried, and I could tell that the creators of this movie put a lot of effort into making this film look and feel like the games, but at the same time, without a proper story, without proper character development, without understandable character motivation, it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, for me, I would give this movie a decent 2.5 out of 5 stars. See it if you want to. You don't have to kill out yourself to see it. If you're a huge Warcraft fan, you're definitely gonna have fun with this, and you probably will understand more in the story than I did. But for everybody else just looking for a story that you could relate to, you're not gonna get here. Just gonna get flashy visuals and nothing more. So those were my thoughts on Warcraft. So have you seen Warcraft? And if you did, what did you think about the film? Did you like the film? Did you hate the film? And if you're a Warcraft fan, feel free to let me know if they got this film right in terms of the story. I don't know if they changed anything up in the story on that. I'm not sure because, like I said, I never played the games. But, was this the Warcraft film that you guys were waiting for after all this time? Or was it just a letdown? So comment below, let me know. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, like I said, Warcraft could have been the next big thing, but unfortunately, not so. So at least we have Assassin's Creed to fall back on any year. I'm not really expecting that to be great, but at least it might be more entertaining than this film. So, when time comes, we'll see. So until then, this is Matthew, and like a wise man once told me, what's this scene?